make some presentation, but I was trying to summarize what you said. And then if colleagues can make an input, because what they are saying is that for the other issues, they are not ready. They don't want to present. In terms of the SPLUMA, they say they've evolved with the SPLUMA. What they want that if we have a meeting, we must first meet with them, and then they make a presentation to us, and then from there, they're not saying they are not allowing us to do the public participation, but they are saying at least we have a pathway that will make us to move forward. Chair, and then Honorable Mapul.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me appreciate the spirit within which Maoshi are looking at these issues. I think we have learned when we were organizing this meeting that our officials from both sides, from ourselves as the portfolio committee and those of the House, did not handle this matter in the way that we thought they should have done. On the first draft agenda, not this one, we had placed an item on presentation by the House, taking it from our discussions from Meropa. We did not think that there was going to be a presentation by the department, but our officials told us that Maoshi need a presentation. That is why we have organized people from the department. But from the way you are putting it, it is clear we do not need any presentation from the department. We only need to afford you the opportunity, as you have already done your part, to make a presentation on your inputs, and we will take it from there. We also note that you still need time to discuss other matters that you want to raise. We appreciate that. We are happy that now we have found one another. We will be working very well. Like Honorable Chair of Shares has said, we are here to hold the executive accountable. We must say it from the outset, be it the Premier, be it the MEC. It was wrong for them to make you to wait for more than 6 months just to meet. That is wrong. We have noted it. We'll take it with the authorities that be, and rest assured, we are more than prepared to hold hands with you and work together. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Like I said, in our caucus there, I don't like to differ in front of Maoshi, and I've guided you. And I think they were listening to me when I was speaking that side. And I'm still repeating again, you can go to any university in the world. You must never call our leaders. No, wait, I'm still repeating, and I'm still begging you what to say, let's not reduce. The reason why even our own subordinate at the department can be able to control our chiefs is because they hear such things. Now, therefore, I think you will understand me. I'm just coming straight now to the way forward. I think anyone, when we go to a doctor, we expect that you'll be diagnosed, and you will tell the doctor, better getting well. And therefore, the doctor will be able to prescribe better medicine for that. And I think the first thing that I was listening attentively is that, can we have a clear calendar of interaction? And that calendar will be beefed up by items which the House of the Royal Leaders will present to us. because it's them who are here, and we must accept now to say they must run the show in terms of giving us guide. And then later, there are issues that are very pertinent for us to resolve now. You know, it's amazing more to hear that they don't have an office, they don't have nothing. They are themselves the way they are. Those are things that I think Chair of Chairs and the Chair, you must be able to deal with. Of meeting with the Premier and other department is no longer an issue as I'm listening. Ours is to make sure that we come up with a clear program of action, dates, venues, and everything, with items to be presided over. And I think the House will be able to guide us clearly to say, this is the way we are going to approach this matter. And therefore, I request that let the House now lead us and to say, this is that we need this calendar. I think next day after eating Christmas market will be refreshed now, so that we know who are we meeting. So that next year when we open, after recess, we've got all the data, the portfolio committee with items so that we can prepare ourselves. They've done their homework, especially around Spluma. I would say we are no longer going to have problem. Ours is to exchange notes and make sure that we have one document. As a province, we've been given powers to pass laws. And I think the laws that will be passing here in the Limpopo province will influence the entire country. It's us who must be able to lobby even the national office where there are hassles. Now, therefore, I think ours is to come up with a clear program of action as a set of interaction with them, with dates, with items, so that we can prepare in time, especially on items to be presided over in those meetings. That's my humble request. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you very much, sir. I think it's become very clear that what we came here to meet about is two different perceptions. You guys had a perception, and we as a portfolio had a perception of what it is. And clearly, the perceptions were not the same. And with regards to Spluma, I can see you guys are on top of it. It is a process that is still unfolding. There are still opportunities for everybody to be involved, including the traditional house. And that is a process that must take place. And obviously, until such time as all of those processes take place and there are proposals put on the table, and it's going to places like the NCOP where you are also participants as well as the House, those processes must take place before we can formally discuss that in a forum like this. So this is not the right forum for that, because it's got to go through the processes. And I see that you 100% are on top of it, and I understand your issues, and I'm very pleased that you are participating. It's in a very important role. But I want to say something about where we are and what CoGHSTA is, okay? And you raised it, sir. It's cooperative governance, housing, and traditional affairs. Not traditional leaders, traditional affairs. There's a difference, okay? That's where we protect the traditional cultures, the leaders, and how, to a degree, the traditional leadership functions and what they're entitled to. That's what we oversee. And what I gather, sir, and I think I'm covered by the Honourable Mapula on this one, is that there are a lot of issues that you guys would like to raise. Forgive me for calling you guys. I've got young kids. Everybody's guys. So I'm not, okay. I'm not disrespecting you.
As long as the content is still relevant, it's okay.
I would not like to disrespect you, the leaders in this room. That a lot of the issues you actually need to discuss are more in line with cooperative governance, municipal service delivery, water issues, those kind of things. And I think those are very, very, very important discussions that we do need to have. And I think with your responsibilities of leaders of your communities, I agree with the Honourable Mapolo. We must set up a calendar where we can meet with the leaders of these communities on a more regular basis, to highlight those issues further, we go out there, we see the issues, but I think for us, we also need the support of the communities, and I refer to you as a community in this interest, okay, because you are our communities. You are the constituents, and we must respect you as constituents. That, Chair, we need to have a more regular meeting in this type of forum with other traditional leaders if necessary, and those issues must be addressed, because that is what CoGHSTA is also there for. It's for us to have those issues brought to us so that we can ensure that those issues are addressed and rectified and made common, for want of a word, in the legislature, that these issues of now are on the table and that they need to be addressed. That is what we are there to do. So obviously there was a clear difference in perceptions today, and I'm glad that we have your perspective, because I think that was very important. And I think we are dealing with two very different issues. We're not dealing with Spluma, we're dealing with community issues that you are having as constituents and leaders yourself with your own communities. And I think that does require us having more regular meetings where such complaints as the chairperson talked about earlier are put on the table so that we can ventilate those and get them resolved, because I do believe some of those issues are resolvable and will give us a way forward in terms of protecting our communities and yours. Thank you, Chairperson.
No, thanks, Chair. It's just a repeat on what I said earlier on, because the detail of what needs to be done in the form of the program already is under discussion. But I've posed a question and that question was not properly answered, just to ensure that we don't proceed with this meeting without having dealt with that matter. I've listened to the presentation by Hosingo, but generally at the end of it, he indicated that they met with the Premier's office and CoGHSTA's officials. The business has been dealt at that level. And my question was very simple. Can they condone that the officials who are here, we proceed with them in terms of the detail that we are now engaging on? And if they are not satisfied with that, then we are able to exhaust that matter and we quickly deal with the business of the day, so that we may not proceed with this meeting with some other issues that we have not resolved. I appreciate the detail as it comes, we'll be able to find each other. But can we deal with that? Thanks.
I'm saying that you should listen to Osingo. He says it's not his call to say whether they are here or not here. It's the call of the portfolio committee. And I don't think, remember these people, they are working together. They are one thing. Ne? The only thing is that, remember, it's about emotional intelligence and about understanding what we have to do. And that's why they say they appreciate what the Honorable Chair, because, you know, when they met, it was not palatable. People, even ourselves as a portfolio committee, were not there. I'm told going over here to save the situation. I get briefed about this thing because I had to be called to come there because I could not come. And what they are saying they appreciate and the openness that we are saying. And they are saying that, look, we are not going to bore you with a lot of issues. We want you to have a proper meeting where they will make a proper presentation, they understand where they are, and they've raised issues. And remember, the other issues they've raised them. He says he doesn't want to speak as if it's a personal matter. It's an institutional crisis that we will then be able to say, even ourselves as a committee will need to sit and look at this matter before we leave here, so that we must have an issue. How would we maybe the chair of the committee and the chair of the house, they must meet and come up with a calendar that you are proposing, so that how are we going to interact from now, and how do we deal with short-term issues? Remember, there are short-term issues, long-term issues, and medium-term, and the other issues. So I'm just saying, Honorable Machet, I understood that. Honorable Mhlophe?
Much, Chairperson. Good afternoon once more to the leadership of traditional affairs. Honorable Chair, we appreciate that already the chairperson just alluded that the presentation was made and they are aware of the SPLUMA, and again they've got a document in hand. So then that is the good part. Then my issue now, Chair, is that there is an issue, the burning issue that was just said by the chairperson of the traditional, which need our attention as the portfolio committee. They've got issues that need us, and they need an urgent intervention, Chair, because we cannot sit here as the portfolio committee and then it is business as usual, whereas our leaders are not taken care of in the department. So it is upon us here as portfolio, as honorables, that there is a need of an urgent meeting, that these issues that was raised be attended to. So I just felt, Chairperson, that the challenge is, as you said now, that there are long-term, short-term, and medium-term interventions. So my proposal is that let us make sure that the chairperson meets and make sure that the relevant department, I mean the relevant section, something must be done there. Because we cannot find our leader told that, no, there is no meeting today, you know, it can't be. It can't be. So my proposal is that what was said must be attended to as a matter of urgency. Thanks.
You know, this issue of traditional leaders is a very problematic issue. You said traditional affairs. They become very sensitive. But one thing that I know, even Osunkobe, when he was making a presentation, he says royal leaders. And as he presents, he says traditional leaders. And I will tell you why. Is that we haven't actually find ourselves. Remember, this thing has also to do with us putting it into dictionary. And how do we, for instance, when we are in legislature, how do we call it and all sorts of things. So I saw you were shaking your head when it says it's an honest mistake. I'm just saying, please, yeah.
Yeah. O kano re wana microphone bo bereka motho ba monela microphone a o itiaitia wa ba a o butse tsa o tseba ra o dilo kwa selofolo fa but re ke try over relevant Chair, I believe this meeting is official. Am I correct? And there is an agenda that will be guiding this meeting. I'm afraid to say, o driver golei go stradeng sa Bulawayo sa di pothole ka 160 kilometers per hour. O lo rusha. there were two proposals that came from that other side of the table, which to me, you should have followed them through, because what we came here for is to indicate to you that we have gone through all the other processes that needs to be followed, and we have produced something that we wanted to present to this portfolio committee. But firstly, you should have asked for the credentials to be part of this meeting. Firstly, there might be attendees who are not supposed to be here. If this is a meeting, as indicated here, that is a meeting between the House and a portfolio committee. Are we the only two institutions in the House? The answer might be no. Secondly, after indication that there is something that royal leaders have produced, that should have formed the basis of engagement going forward. To say, if there is such, how are we going to ensure that that document reaches us as portfolio committee, and then determine the processes of processing that document? That would be an ideal situation. This meeting would have been over if you were driving us nicely. Thank you.
Are you moving a motion of no confidence against me? I'm saying, I hear people, in a meeting, this thing, because the chief, Oshingobe proposed another process. At a meeting with a deal, that my understanding, Oshingobe proposed, you see, the problem is that, I get more, we talk, we allow people to talk, but already the meeting is closed. Because Oshingobe said, he explained his frustrations, but he also made proposals. And you also made proposal. Honorable Mapolo made a proposal, and also Welmeso made a proposal. So what is going to happen is to say that I also made a proposal that the chair of portfolio committee and the chair of the House of Royals must meet, they must meet, and with the administrators, and agree what are the pertinent issues, what are the short-term issues that we'll need to deal with, what are the issues that we will have to deal with. Remember ourselves, we will remain here. We will write to CoGHSTA questions that they will have to answer us. Why are you not meeting the traditional, our royal leaders? Why? And we'll present it, and then we'll get an answer. Remember, our job is oversight. And when we do an oversight, we also debate it in Parliament. And the Speaker is aware of these issues. So I'm saying, if we were to allow each other to say we have found each other, and we are saying we have agreed that we will have a process that will, we're not here to make you like we just want to brush things aside. You ask for a meeting, here's the meeting. And then we say, what will then be the next step? And the first step in that the program is the chair and the chair to meet, and then they come up with a plan to move forward. That was it.
Chair, I think maybe before we come to the business of the day, I just still want to say we have not been answered about who invited these other people, the CoGHSTA officials, legal people, the researchers to this meeting. Because coming here, we only know that we're going to meet with a portfolio committee on CoGHSTA. Nobody else. But no one want to take the risk. I thought they will give them a leave of absence from this meeting. But it seems they want to be part of this meeting. Why we did not invite them? But when we started, they said we requested yesterday, but we didn't as a house.
A di share marapo. La tseba nna ka bokgo ke kushang ka ona. Gore go biditse batho, let's say una le di mistake, una le eng, and my understanding is that that mistake, it might be that the administrators felt that because it's all about Spluma, ne? They wanted to see how we're going to roll out the Spluma bill and all those other things. And I understand. And when Osingove responded, I think he understood, and that's why I said it is not my call to tell them to go, but he also explained the process. And I thought he also explained how you would want us to behave and how we deal. Maybe in Gambla, I went on.
Okay, thank you, Chair. My take is, and my little bit of understanding of how administration works in government. The officials of a department, when they leave their offices, they get approvals from their superiors to go and attend a particular activity. And when they come back, they are expected to report about the achievement or non-achievement of such activity that they were attending to. In this case, there's no way that the officials from the Premier, they are here without having been approved to be here, because they are invited to be here, similar with CoGHSTA. So that's why initially, at the first instance, I clarified that was not our call, because I didn't want to be responsible for that. But at the same time, we regard ourselves, the executive or royal leaders or traditional leaders, it doesn't matter. We regard ourselves as a public office bearers in terms of the law. We are not a public servant. And when we meet with you, we regard ourselves meeting our counterpart. Not counterpart in a negative way, but counterpart in terms of the legislative arrangement, because you are a public office bearers. And we believe, our understanding is that there are issues that when public office bearers meet, those issues, they are beyond administrative in terms of discussions, because they are more about politics. And politics, I'm not talking about party politics. I'm talking about political arrangement. But we believe that when there's a technical matter before us, in this case, if there is a Splum bill, it becomes a technical document, because there are legalities, there are lots of things, there are planning issues, and all of you, you are not on your positions as planners, as professional planners, and similarly to us. So when there's a Splum, you might need a planner to explain what do you mean by spatial. But we're not there. We've done with that. We're not there anymore. All what we are now, we are on the political processes. That's what I have made my input. And all what I can humbly ask is, it might not be necessary on one part for the chair of the portfolio committee and the chair of the House to meet and discuss this part. It will be necessary for us to meet on the program of other issues. But on the Splum, we'll be so happy if the chair can take responsibility to say, we will give you a date so that we can work backwards ourselves. Yes. We will give you a date. We are going to meet on the last week or the second week of February, so that when we have that in mind, if there are some touch-ups in terms of our constituents, we will have to do it before. Because all what we are saying, Chair, you will be so, I can guarantee you, knowing you, all of you being politicians, where you like progress, you will be so impressed about what we have done. Because we are not going just to submit our comments. We are submitting our comments paragraph by paragraph of the bill. And you will be surprised that we'll be telling you that on this paragraph, on this section, we are in agreement with this proposal. On this section, we are not in agreement. This is our proposal. And that will assist you. When you do a public participation, you will even be able to say, traditional leaders, this is what they are proposing. What are you saying as communities? So you will no longer be representing yourself. You will be also having that input. So you will be very impressed, I'm telling you. That one I can guarantee you. Because our understanding is that it's not about, rough playing each other. It's about our people. That's why we've gone that, and we've done that without, and we know our limitations. We don't have resources. We might have missed the ball. It's fine. That's why when we meet with you, you will tell us to say, yes, we hear these comments, these inputs, but legislative-wise, this will not happen because it might need a constitutional amendment. How do we deal with that? Because as a provincial legislation, we can't amend the constitution, but we do have the NCOP members who will ask them to take it in their relevant committees in the national. So those are the things that we know. At our level, you will be able to guide us because we know it can't be everything that we want. Some of the things we are saying it because we want you to open up your mind to say, this is what we want. But to achieve this, it will need a budgetary implications. Then it means the MSC or finance must, politically we agree, this is a good thing, but it can't be done now because there's no budget for it. But in the next budget, we'll make sure that we influence that part of it. So all those things are there. So in our view, if we can go out of this door, getting it from your chair and from the chair of the portfolio committee that before you go on recess, you will give us a date to say when do you want us to come and do that presentation to you, not the committee, all senior traditional leaders in the province under one roof like they've done, like they did in Muruba. We will bring them all so that no one, when you go to the constituency and consult, must stand up as a traditional leader and oppose because you will have been in that meeting. You will be able to say, no, traditional leaders, we're done with you. Now we are dealing with communities, with ordinary members of the community we have had. So we want to protect that space so that when you go to Vembe, you must not say, as the Chibase Royal House, we don't agree, this is our input. He will have found a space within us to make that input. When you go there, you are going to meet with his subjects there for them to say, okay, we hear what our leaders are saying, but I think they have overlooked the issue of this and this and this. So that's where we are, Chair. So we're not expecting the Chair to give us a date now, but at least if we can have that date before you close. Why? Because when you open, we might be saying, let's meet next week or in 14 days. It will not assist us, but if we go, and then it will give us the whole of January to work backwards if there are still some touch-ups, so that when we come and meet with you and present that document and engage with you, then you will be fine. And then on the issue of our issues, Chair, please let it be recorded very, very, very clearly because sometimes when people record, they record good, but you find that when the person who was contributing maybe was talking not making sense, but they won't say you're not making sense because they are recording. On the issue of our frustration, we don't want to bore you about the issue of offices, that people, they know why they are doing that. We don't know, but what concerns us is when we don't meet our legislative obligations as an institution. For example, it is a requirement, it is mandatory for the Premier of the province to officially open the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders annually. It's not a choice. So whether you like me or you don't like me, unfortunately you have to open the house as a Premier of the province, which it has happened on the 29th of May this year for this financial year, for this day. But in that, it's a package. It says within 14 days, the Premier's speech must be debated by the House in a full sitting of the House. That has not happened. I don't know how you calculate 14 days. 14 days to me is 2 weeks after you have opened the House. And on the 4th of June, myself, personally, I picked up a call because I thought the Honorable MEC and the advisors, because she was a new, she's a new premier in that office. They might have briefed her to say, please be mindful that when there's an opening of the house, there is this requirement that within 14 days you must convene the house and your speech must be debated. And the 14 days it is going to be lapsing. So I personally called her to say, Honorable Female, I really want to talk to you. There's something that I want to give. Because remember, one of the main functions of the house is to advise government. Our role, one of the main role of the house, it's an advisory role. It's one of our main day-to-day function as the house is to provide advisory role to government. And government, in our understanding, it means you, legislature. It means the executive. It means whether if there's a judiciary. Because remember there's a traditional court. So it means we can also go to the judge president and say, Judge President, we are not happy about the way things are happening. Our rural people are suffering because of this system. It is very expensive. As traditional leaders, how can we make sure that you have another office of a high court in Guyana, in Lubuako, so that our people must not travel? That is our role, whether it will happen or not, but that is our role, to advise government. So we wanted to do that, but when that did not happen, we wrote letters to say, can we kindly have a meeting? Me and the chairperson, me and the deputy, we want to meet with the premier, because we didn't want everybody to be there, so that we can say, look, maybe you are new in this thing. There is this requirement. It's not a choice. We have to debate your speech. If we don't debate your speech, we have to have a dialogue with that speech, so that we clear these things. Because what you say as the head of a province, it's a policy issues. So we need to have now the issue is, people march to my office. I'm becoming too personal. They march to my office to say I'm useless because since the premier opened the house, there is no debate, there is no dialogue, as if we are doing nothing. And the next thing, what do I get? Now I'm told that there is an investigative committee to set up by the premier to investigate because there is a memorandum. I'm just saying, but we have seen you politicians, people are marching to you day in, day out, but we have never had a committee that is investigating, because it's in the nature of the public office. The president, they march for him every day. The premiers, they march for you every day. It's in the nature of the public office. So, but this one, just because there was a march to say we don't get promoted to be from headmen to be senior traditional leaders, it means the chairperson of the house is useless. Now the very same government is instituting a committee to investigate me, to say, answer, why are you? And I don't have powers to promote. If I had that powers, all the human beings in the country, they will be paramount chiefs. But I'm just giving you a classical example to say, just because of me being vocal, I'm being targeted now, I'm being destabilized and the like. And I don't care about that, but I care about the institution. So, Chair, all what we are looking for, give us a date if it's possible. We're not instructing you. Give us a date when to give you our input next year when you resume after recess. That will assist us to work our things backwards. Don't give us to us now. You might not have that because you need to work it. But at least if you can give us before the end of the year, it will be nice to us. As I have said to you, we don't have a budget. So when you call traditional leaders from Mutale and the like, you have to have a timing of when you call them for a meeting and other things. Because you can't call them for one thing, they go back the following day, because they will say, we don't come because we don't have the petrol. So that is the main achievement that we'll be having about this plume. That is our main thing, that's why we're here. The other offers, we really welcome it. We think there's nothing urgent, but I'm worried. For example, Chair, the last example, which is a legislative issue. The Act says the House must at least sit twice a year. That is the Act that has been passed by you. And when I mean you, I mean I mean the legislature. You see, the Act says the House must. It's not may. The Act says the House must at least is a minimum, sit twice a year. We have said one. This next week, it was going to be the second one, which was going to be compliant. Here is the chief director saying, no, you can't sit. Now I'm not complying. Now somebody will pass a vote of no confidence on the leadership to say you did not meet the legislative requirement of sitting at least twice. What do I do? Thank you, sir. So that's our
Matusaleme Akoreko, we have found each other in this meeting. And the meeting, as is directing now, is that yourself, as the chair of the House and the chair of the portfolio committee, you'll meet and deal with the logistics and the matters that are going to take us forward. And then we are saying, as a portfolio committee, you have an open door on our side. We will discuss your issues, we will take decisions, and we'll write to CoGHSTA. And CoGHSTA would bring those issues, and those issues will be debated in the legislature. I think that is the long and short of it. The rest, we will take it from there. And I think Tima Tomomayo, Rena, Ria Taupa or Claverection Lilina. We are committed to work with the House of Traditional Leaders. Whatever issues are there will be put on the table and we'll discuss them. Is that our understanding? Okay. So, with the Deputy Chair of Chairs, you want to say something? Yeah, I'm closing. No, I'm saying I can't allow you to leave without you saying something, because tomorrow I'll be accused.
No, thank you very much, Chair. And I think I must appreciate the level-headedness of the leadership of the Provincial House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders. Because when we came here, we anticipated a very emotionally charged engagement, looking at the nature of the issues that are being discussed. And one is encouraged by the spirit and how we're able to conclude on the issues. We're agreeing on the roadmap, that there must be a roadmap that will guide us to deal with all the issues which the leadership has raised. And I think the chair was able also to give a proper way forward in that regard. You know, Chair of the House, when we were in Sikukune, you raised two fundamental issues. One was that the House is placing at the disposal of a government its expertise, its leadership, its richness in terms of your leadership. That was the first thing you raised, that you are underutilized in a sense. But you also indicated that issues of the budget seem to be a matter you raise every day. You raised it there, you are raising it now here. And I think this will be part of the issues which will be discussed as you work out the roadmap with the chair. So, Chair, I think this meeting was very productive. Was a meeting of leaders. It's a meeting that was aimed at really finding one another. There is nothing that, if we sit, put heads together, that we cannot be able to get solutions. And I think solutions are within reach if we remain this calm, if we remain level-headed and be systematic on how we deal with all these issues. There are many, but I think we can be able to deal with them piecemeal, depending on the availability on the one side, human resource, or any other resources that might be required for us to get solutions on these issues that are being raised. Chair, I think that will be my main input. I'm leaving this meeting quite encouraged. I'm leaving this meeting very, very enthusiastic, looking forward to 2026. That will start the year very progressive. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Without much ado, is to take this opportunity to thank our royal leaders and the leadership of the portfolio committee. We came together here as the leadership of this portfolio committee to say that we are going to listen to you. We will speak in one voice. Don't worry about the optics. The optics is part of politics. Me and Mapolo, we come a long way. This was my neighbor. We call each other neighbor. We work together in the ANC. I call it optics, you know. Mabonana loko mkufano wa mchongonya tipati jemelana nyana. Mara, I think we had one objective to make sure that what affects our royal leaders, we must actually solve it. And I think, Chair, we will have a roadmap which will be able to make sure that we deal with all those suspicions and whatever, and any problem, whatever you have raised, whether buntswaka, kumbe iswalekaya, kumbe iswalekaya, the committee will look at it. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who participated in this meeting. I think maybe what we may need to do is the announcement. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chair of Chairs. We have prepared lunch for all of us. Thank you.
I'm not sure. The portfolio committee, would you want to meet today to discuss, take their matter forward, or you will have to meet separately and take decisions on these matters that are raised, so that we should be able to move forward? Because we can't allow them to go and eat alone when we are not there. Or we want us to eat and come back. Yeah. Then you would. Okay. No, thank you. Chair, thank you very much. Thank you, Chair, and your delegation.